Johnny581 here with another edition of Holes and Hunts. This one has a bit of variety. To start, it's at a Goodwill, and they actually had some video games. So for the original Game Boy, they were $3.99 each. We have Amazing Spider-Man and Castlevania Adventure. I had friends who had these games. I never owned them myself. I don't really have any bad memories of them. I think Spider-Man is an LJN game, but I think it was just a simple side-scroller, and Castlevania Adventure is I think the first Game Boy Castlevania game, and yeah, it wasn't bad, so I was happy for $3.99, and they came with the original cases, so not too bad. And for the N64, these are from a local store up here, Bull Moose, and they're $6.97 each. And the good thing about that is all their N64 games are the same price. The bad part about that is the bad ones that should probably be cheaper aren't, but you could find some good ones. Asteroids I always played on the Atari when I was growing up, and I know there was some remakes or reimaginings on the N64 of some classic Atari games. Asteroids one of them. I don't think I've actually played the N64 version, but I was looking for it for a while. I don't see it around too often, so I grabbed it. Another one, Bomberman Hero. Bomberman games are always a lot of fun. They were free for the N64. Bomberman 64 I got right when it came out. Bomberman Hero kind of fell through the cracks. I'm still looking for Bomberman Second Attack, but this one I can't think of the last time I saw in person, so I had to grab it. Then had hit up a local flea market, and anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge Transformers fan. So these were the first Beast Wars Transformer Happy Meals. I think probably, I want to say 97, maybe it's on here. 96, but for some reason I don't remember them coming out in 96, but anyway, these are the first Beast War Happy Meals. They were $1 each. They're still sealed. They were at the flea market. I had them all loose from when they first came out. But these had very generic names, like this was Rhino, and obviously it's a Rhino. There's Manta Ray. It's hard to get a good look in the packaging. Panther, who's obviously a panther. And we have Beetle, who's a beetle. And you know what? For Happy Meal toys, I remember being pleasantly surprised with them. There were about 3 or 4 colors on each of these Transformers. I think the promotion was coupled with My Little Pony, like it usually is. So I was pretty happy with these, and glad I found them for $1 each. I have my loose ones, like I said, but now I have a sealed set, which I have no plans on opening because there's no need. But for Happy Meal toys, these were pretty good. For $1, they're even better. Moving on to, I was in Goodwill the other weekend, or last weekend, it depends on when this is uploaded, and I was looking for some CDs. I'm always looking for music, but I found some PlayStation 1 games. They were in really good shape for $1.99 each. Warzone I got on N64, I remember the day it came out, but they still had the sticker on the jewel case, booklets here, CD's black back, nice and clean. For $1.99, part of me always thinks I'm going to end up going for all the wrestling games anyway, so I figured let me just grab it because it was in perfect shape. Then we had Die Hard Trilogy, not the rarest game, not the most common either. Again, it was for $1.99, and really damn good shape. So clean back. Had the booklet, can't complain for $1.99. If it was anything more, I probably would have passed because I don't really have much of an interest in most of the PlayStation 1 games that I don't already have. So here's another wrestling game, and it's WCW Nitro, which I do have on the N64, which I think was in a recent video that I came across because I never got it the first time around. $1.99 from Goodwill, still has the NWO for Life sticker on the jewel case, so this is likely the original copy. It's got some good photos on the back. Again, we have the booklet, some more photos, clean CD. So $1.99 each, 3 PlayStation games. I'm not going to complain, especially games that are pretty good. It's another Goodwill experience. $1.99 for a Sega Genesis 6-button controller. They had a 3-button one as well, but I passed on that because I didn't need it and I didn't want to just buy it to buy it. But an extra 6 buttons always good to have. It was in perfect shape. D-pad's fine, well the buttons are fine, the shoulders are good. So $2 for a great controller, not bad again. Moving on back to wrestling, as a lot of people know, there was that point where WWF changed to WWE, but it was right around the cusp of the WWF DVDs really breaking through. The last batch of them I think were probably the 2001s, and these weren't cheap, but they're still cheaper than they were at retail. I paid $14 for Survivor Series 2001, which was the end of the Alliance storyline, and here's Royal Rumble 2001, I paid $15. They're both extremely hard to find. They've been reissued in Europe with the WWE logo and the footage blurred out. These are the original footage that doesn't have the blurs, which gets very annoying if you're watching. So this had a lot of the unification matches to streamline the titles. Only downer, there was no booklet. Aside from that, the disc is fine, but there was no insert, which had the match listing. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's nice to have. But can't really complain because you can't find these. Like that's it. You can't find them. And in Royal Rumble, it's nice. This was reissued in the Royal Rumble box set, but again, they had the scratches all blurred out, the scratch logo. So here was an original of the 2001 Rumble, and unfortunately, again, there was no insert. Disc is fine. I watched it, no problems. So they're not the cheapest, but when you really think about it, these are worth more than I did pay, even though I paid close to the original retail. It's nice to have. I passed on these the first time around because who would have known how rare they become, and they immediately became very hard to find, all the 2000 and 2001 DVDs. So it's good to have these. There was also a SummerSlam 2001, but when I opened it up, it had the disc from the box set, which kind of defeats the purpose, so I had to pass on that one. Okay, let's get some NES games going. Got a pile here. Also from Bull Moose, all these NES games that I'm going to show you I think were $2.97 each. So here's Capcom's Legendary Wings. I've said it before, I like the old Capcom games. I like the new Capcom games too, but for that price, couldn't pass it up. The original Paperboy, which has to be cleaned up, but this will come off. I tried it a little bit, it just has some residue on it. I was happy with that one. Here's a game I remember playing when I was little, and even though I didn't truly grasp the whole concept, I still had a lot of fun with it. So Wall Street Kid, which is a unique game, it's a simulator where you're the stockbroker, and it's a lot of fun. It's simple, but it's a lot of fun. Here's an old classic, one of the early NES games, RC Pro-Am, which as a child, the control scheme tormented me, because for some reason I was never able to get it quite down, but I had a lot of fun playing it. Most people have fond memories of this game. Wish I had an NES Max Pad, because I think that made the gameplay a lot easier. Another racing game, we have Rad Racer, which is known for being one of the, I believe, 2 3D games, that and World Runner. Rad Racer is ahead of its time. It looks primitive now, but it's still a lot of fun. Rad Racer 2 is a lot of fun. Good game. So these were all $2.97. The only one in the pile that wasn't $2.97 is right here, Kung Fu. I found at the same flea market that I had the Transformer Happy Meals. This was $2.50. Came with the booklet. I have a double of Kung Fu now because it was in that giant tote that I have, but when I picked this one up, I hadn't picked up the tote yet. It shows how I fell behind on filming, but it does have the booklet, so pretty cool. And for $2.50 for first year NES game with the booklet, you can't go wrong. $2.97 again, back to Bull Moose. I had Ninja Gaiden 2, which is not the rarest game, but it's also not the most common game. It's definitely worth more than $2.97. I was pleasantly surprised with that. I didn't expect to see it laying on the shelf. It probably wasn't there for too long. So that's pretty cool because game's definitely worth more than $3, and it's a good classic fun game. Also there, which I didn't expect to see laying on a shelf, is Ninja Gaiden 3, which is definitely worth a lot more than $3, and it's hard to come by. Another franchise that's been resurrected lately, but the original 3 for the Nintendo were pretty cool, and the arcade game's always a classic. Ate a lot of quarters up back in the day. And finally we have, oh no, not finally, but just down in New York the other week. Yeah, again, depends on when it airs. And I got pretty lucky that we found this shop that our friend Scott had told us about, and we met him over there in Brooklyn. And they had some used games mixed in. It's a comic shop, but essentially I got for $30 everything you see here. And I haven't ever really seen a clean copy of Mario Party 3. I don't really see too many copies in general, but the ones I see usually all messed up. This is a perfect copy, and by itself it's almost probably a $30 game. So everything else is just a bonus. So the guy was pretty cool. He gave me both of these for 15 each. So Mario Golf I may have paid a little more then, but still Mario Golf's probably like a $12 to $15 game on average, so it's not too bad. And Mario Party 3 is a gift. So I got these all for 30. That included Mario Party Advance, which has everything in it from the poster to the booklet to the insert, but the game was missing. He had it behind the counter, and he seemed a little annoyed because he thought the game was in here. He was cool, and I just wanted the box anyway because I'm sure the game's a lot easier to find in the box than booklet. He gave me the box and everything for free, which is very generous of him, and that's why I also didn't mind paying the $30 total because I still think I got a great deal. Same thing for WrestleMania 2000. I have a couple copies of the game, but I didn't have a box, and this box is not in the best shape. It's a little banged up, but the owner was really cool. He took the game out, gave me the box and the booklet and whatever else was in here for free. So I was really happy with that. So one really hard to find game, one semi hard to find, and two classic boxes. Well, for 30, cannot beat that. Definitely plan on going back to that shop because they were really good people. Now finally we have a pile of Genesis games. These are also from Bull Moose at $3.97, as you can see. This was Tengen's Miss Pac-Man, and this does have the official Genesis seal, where the Tengen games for the Nintendo definitely had some controversy at times. So this is one of the cardboard boxes, and had the cheap black and white booklet, but still here, the game's here, perfect shape. So that was pretty good. I have no interest in picking up loose Genesis games, but I like the boxes, I like the artwork, so I'll pick up almost any one if the price is right that's in the box. Very easy to find loose ones, but there's no excuse for not having the Genesis boxes because they were easy to display and didn't take up much room. Here's another Genesis game, I paid $3.97. It's Super Thunder Black, unless I'm reading that wrong. I'm not too familiar with the helicopter game that we have here, but it is a first-year Genesis game, and it's 1989. Typing up to 16 bits. Box design's a little bit different. You can see the logo's a little smaller up here, slightly different. And got the perfect condition cartridge. We have the booklet, so it's pretty cool. I probably played that at one point or another, but don't remember it. So here's another one for $3.97. We have The Lion King. Gotta love the Disney games. Nothing beats the Capcom Disney games on the Nintendo, but the Genesis and Super Nintendo ones were not bad. A lot of fun. Some of them are not as kiddie as they appear to be. So here's another one. We have pretty decent shaped booklet and perfect condition cartridge. So can't go wrong there. Now we have what's probably the original Genesis game, which is an arcade classic before that, and it's great to find the original artwork. This is good. The only thing missing is the little hanger piece up top, but who cares? So here's Altered Beast, which was very unique at the time. Side-scroller beat 'em up. You could change your forms to different animals and manoids, however you want to describe them. I think this one had the booklet. Yep. So here we go. We got a really good condition booklet, clean cartridge, $4, not bad. All right, now here's where the games got a little weird. I don't know what this is. Sega Club's Crystal's Ponytail. I really would never have picked this up, but I used my cell phone to my advantage and looked it up. It's worth quite a bit. Forget offhand, but for $4 and had the booklet, which is another cheap black and white, clean cartridge in the box. Seemed to be a pretty rare game. I would likely never ever pop this in, but for $4 for a very rare game, not going to complain. Here's another game that I will never ever play, and it's Barney's Hide and Seek game. no interest in this whatsoever, and like the pony game would never have picked it up. There's no booklet, but the game looked like it was going for like $12 to $15, so I thought that it was just worth grabbing, and I'm not going to complain. It's a game that I have no interest in. It's just going to sit there, but it is what it is. It's part of the collection. And another game that I will not play, and I love Sesame Street and all the Muppets, but is Sesame Street's Counting Cafe, another Sega Club game, which I guess was the kids' line. I'm not really recalling that too much, probably because I was past the age when these were coming out. But for $4, and again, this was a rare game that's worth a bit more than $4, so I couldn't pass it up. Didn't want to just leave it there. It's part of the collection. So I think this one may have had the booklet too. Nope, no, I'm sorry. It didn't have the booklet, which is a shame, but still, for $4, not bad. Alright, so thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and keep on watching, and thanks for your support.